From the town of Tyngsborough, I'm Ronnie Camille, and this is Entering Tyngsborough. Coming up on the podcast, sitting down with the folks from the Tyngsborough Public Library about all their services and an upcoming event happening this month.
But I think the one thing I wish people would know that they don't already is what an amazing return on investment their public library is. For every dollar we receive of municipal funds, we provide $3 worth of services. We're saving residents hundreds of thousands of dollars a year when they use the library.
Kathy, welcome to Tyngsborough's Front Porch.
Thank you. I'm really happy to be here.
I'm happy you're here too. So for the people that are tuning into this program for the first time and may not see your face or don't interact with you, please introduce yourself and what is your role within the town of Tyngsborough?
Sure. Hi, my name is Kathryn Growney. I'm the library director of Tyngsborough Public Library, and I've been here for about 3 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome. And so because we're taping this in May, we want to get some timely information out. One of the reasons why I invited you on this week. So the Friends of the Tyngsborough Public Library, it's nice that you have a group of people supporting all your efforts, by the way.
Yes.
They're hosting their annual or biannual?
Yeah, twice a year.
Twice a year, used book sale, and that's on May 17th.
Right.
So for the listeners who may not know, can you tell us more about this event and what can people expect this year?
Sure. So first of all, I just want to say the Friends of the Public, Griffin Free, oh my gosh.
That's okay.
Flashback.
You got that out of your system. It's fine.
I've got that out of my system, previous library. So the Friends of the Tyngsborough Public Library, they are a separate nonprofit organization that fundraises for us, and we're really fortunate to have them because there's a lot of things that we wouldn't be able to do without them. The book sale is one way that they fundraise for us, so they hold a sale in May and in October. In addition to gently used, a lot of times fairly brand new books, they also sell things such as DVDs, movies, CDs, games, and a wide selection of jewelry. You can get some really amazing
jewelry, eh?
Yes, like this gold necklace that I got for $1. I mean,
wow.
So if you want some amazing deals on jewelry, this is the place to be.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
And puzzles, too. There's usually a plethora of puzzles.
That's right. Puzzles are very popular right now, as well as they always have a bake sale as well.
There's a bake sale, too?
Absolutely. So you can be munching on some cookies while you're buying the latest James Patterson.
Okay. I guess I need to save the date, Saturday, May 17th.
That's correct.
And the time?
Sure. So it's from 8:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. And this year, they are introducing an early sale for members of the Friends. So if you're a member of the Friends, you can actually come in between 8 a.m. and 8:30. You get early access and first dibs on those great books.
And where's the sale happening?
Absolutely. So the sale happens at Town Hall Library. We're the same building. So that's at 25 Bryant Lane.
In the community room.
In the community room.
So the sale has been a staple for many years. I don't want to say decades, but many years.
Yes.
So as long as I've been with this organization.
Yes.
Happening both in the spring and the fall. Can you share a little history of how it kind of got started and evolved over the years?
Yeah. So since I've only been here 3 years, I don't have a really good history of the book sale. I know that it has evolved over time, and they try to evolve with what's happening. I mean, there's concerns about, we used to sell VHS tapes and textbooks. Those don't sell anymore, so we've dropped those. So what's being sold kind of changes over time. I think they also used to have a lot of community organizations, like it was more of a fair sort of thing, and now it's more focused just on the book sale.
Okay, got it. And how do the proceeds from the book sale benefit the library and patrons of the library?
Oh, absolutely. So as I mentioned, they provide funding for things such as programs. We receive $0 municipal funding for programs, so all of the programming that we offer. Such as recently this week we had lino cut. We have a lot of people that enjoy crafting. They provide that funding so that we can provide those. In addition, they provide museum passes. Again, we get zero funding from the town for museum passes. So you want to go to the aquarium, you can come and get 50% off passes to go to the aquarium. You want to go to the butterfly place, you can get a pass for that. So we really, they allow us to provide a lot more resources than we would be able to otherwise.
And so as we take a deep dive into the services that you offer, beyond the books, you mentioned the museums.
Yeah.
What are other services and resources that the library offers?
Sure. So in addition to your regular books, ebooks, audiobooks, magazines, databases, newspapers, some other resources is we work with the AARP to provide tax help, free tax help. We do work with the Center for Active Living and Meals on Wheels to provide book delivery service to homebound individuals.
Did not know that.
Yeah, that's a fairly new initiative for us. We provide computers, printing, copying, faxing. And then, of course, we have our latest Library of Things, which is a growing collection.
You just took the next question out of my mouth.
I know, right? So it's Library of Things, right?
What is that exactly?
Yeah, so basically the concept is it's just like books, except it's other things. So it could be, we have a Cricut maker, we have a sewing machine, we have tools, you have electronics you want to fix, you want to make jewelry, we have a jewelry making kit, you want to learn to knit, you're having family over and you want some big outdoor games, you want to learn pickleball. This is all the supplies that we have, ever expanding. And it's really popular, and it's a great way for people to maybe try something out before they buy it, learn a new skill. So we're really excited about that.
And to check the Library of Things items, is it the same like a book? Like you go in and is it the same time you get it for X amount of period of time, or is it a shorter period of time?
Yeah, so it's very similar, except because these are very popular items, they only circulate for 1 week. If nobody else has put a hold on it, then you can come in and check it back out again.
So your department, the library, has become kind of a real hub for, outreach and development, engagement. You guys hold story time, you guys hold nature walks, at the library, outside the library, you had teen events, a whole plethora of things, photography. I'm like listing them because, we share a room. How is the department meeting the needs of the Tyngsborough, population?
Absolutely. So I think outreach is very important to us, and working with other departments and community organizations, whether it's the Center for Active Living, whether it's the elementary school, the high school, we try to listen to what the community is telling us they need and then meet that need, whether it's at the library or at their location. So in the summertime, we'll do story times, but we'll do it at Parley Farm because that's where people are. The high school, our research databases are used by one of the research classes in the high school, which is leading to our databases getting one of the highest usages in the state because we've collaborated with the school to purchase the databases that they're looking for. So we work closely with them, and I think that's where we get our biggest bang for the buck is when we're able to find community partners. So, and we're really open. I mean, I have an open door policy. Walk on in and talk to me if you have a need that you feel like,
Sure.
Whatever it is in the community, if the library can help, we want to help.
So you're telling me out of the 351 communities in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts,
We have one of the highest. We can't compete with Boston Public,
Sure.
obviously, but our usage is pretty high.
that's
But it's focused.
mind-boggling. Yeah,
It's
sure.
focused. Yeah.
And these resources that these students are using, what exactly are they?
So a lot of them, we are fortunate right now to get them through a shared collection with the state. So they're like academic research, an EBSCO database. But there's other specialized ones that we purchase, such as an EBSCO database called Sport Discus, which really focuses on research in sports. And when the students are doing research on that, they need these highly specialized, normally college-level databases. So we're really helping them in collaboration with their teachers to prepare for college.
And these are digital resources.
Those specifically are digital resources, so they're able to use their Tyngsborough Public Library card to access these from anywhere that they have a computer and internet access.
So besides the schools, and you mentioned the Center for Active Living.
Yes.
I always refer them as in my head as their previous name.
Yes, I work on that too.
hence
Working on it.
the pregnant pause.
Yes.
What are other partnerships or collaboration that the TPL is doing to amplify, the department's impact?
Sure. Boy, I'm blanking at the moment.
We can come back to that. That's okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think some other things that we've done is with the high school in particular, their ESL students will come to the library a few times a year to see what resources we have, because we have ESL resources for free that they can use to help them learn English, whether it's a book that might be a bilingual book or a program that helps them learn English from their native language.
Any foreign books in the library, or do you?
We have some. I know that we have some in Portuguese and Spanish, for example. Whether they're published, I don't know if you mean published foreign.
Yeah.
That I don't know where they were published.
Yeah. I learned this week that in the elementary school itself, 20 plus languages.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot. I think another great collaboration that we're part of is the Repair Cafe, which is a great group of people. So it's the Tyngsborough Sustainability Committee, Rotary, and the business The Beehive.
Yes.
And so we all collaborate to bring the Repair Cafe. I think we do it 3 times a year, where individuals can bring something that's broken and get it repaired for free, which is great because it saves Tyngsborough residents money as well as keeps things out of the landfill.
That's amazing. So with the retirement of Ann Paquin and the suspension of Neighbor to Neighbor, residents in town have lost the kind of a long-standing source for local updates, and you've seen a shift of how people are asking for information. Oftentimes, people come to the desk, your
Yes.
combined centralized desk for info. What are you guys doing to kind of close that gap?
Yeah.
You want to share that information?
I would
with
love
us?
to. I'm really, really glad you asked that question. So, Tyngsborough Public Library is really excited to announce that we will be launching a pilot of a new community newsletter called The Bridge. It's going to start out in a digital format with print copies available at the library. However, I would encourage other businesses and organizations, if they want to print out copies and hand it out to their constituents, please feel free to help us get it out there. And during the 6-month pilot project, we will figure out if the format is working for the community and workloads and procedures around that, as well as investigating if we can find funding to ideally mail it out to every resident the way Neighbor to Neighbor was. We're anticipating that would cost around $40,000 a year, which of course we don't have in our budget. But there's other ways to look for funding. So we're just trying to nail that down first. And the first issue will be published July 1st.
Wonderful. Congratulations on taking this on. It's very exciting to see, especially as we lost long-standing publication in the community. I want to talk more about the library and just library overall, and the various challenges. I always ask department heads that are, or whoever comes sits on the front porch. So libraries across the country are facing, the landscape is changing.
Yes.
Both in ways people use them. What are some of the biggest challenges that you're seeing right now at TPL?
Sure. So we have a few big challenges. One is impending funding cuts. So on the federal side, the state receives a lot of funding from the Institute of Museum and Library Services. That funding has been paused. It's in the courts right now whether that's going to happen or not. But we're already feeling the effects where we used to receive free to us professional development through the state. That's been stopped. Certain grants have been stopped already. Those fortunately didn't directly impact us. But at risk is our interlibrary loan system, which is amazing that our patrons can just go online from home, request a book from anywhere in the state, and pick it up at TPL. That is, the funding for that is at risk, as well as those statewide databases that I mentioned earlier. Those are all at risk of being cut. So funding is a challenge for sure, and we'll just have to wait and see how that goes through the courts.
And in light of those challenges, Kathy, how is the department, adapting to, ensure that you guys stay relevant and a vital part of this community?
Absolutely. So this happens in cycles, right? Funding can become tighter, it can become better. And so I think libraries are very good at adapting to the environment, talking to our patrons, talking within the community, and identifying what the biggest needs are. And if our funding shrinks, then we have to focus on and accomplish fewer things. And that's just the nature of it. But we're very good about analyzing usage data to figure that all out. I think one of the other challenges, and that Massachusetts is really good at, is advocating for libraries. I think most people don't realize that, one, print books still circulate. They haven't gone away. They're stable. So they're just circulating as much as ever for us. However, our digital circulations are skyrocketing, and the cost for us to provide a digital book versus a print book is significantly different.
Let's educate people on that, because you educated me, off air a few weeks ago, and I was stunned. And I was talking to your counterpart to the north in Nashua about that.
Yeah.
So, a digital copy of a book, whether it's a Kindle book or even an audio book, you don't own that.
No, a lot of times we're not allowed to purchase it, where I believe there's laws in place where publishers are required to let us purchase a print copy and then loan it out. Those laws are not in place for electronic content. So if the latest bestseller comes out and you go down to Barnes & Noble or on Amazon and purchase it, you'll probably pay between $14 and $30 depending on the book,
Sure.
right?
Yep.
The library will pay $60 for an ebook copy for access for 1 year or 2 years,
Do you
and then
see
that
my
expires.
face right now?
Yeah,
$60 for an e-copy.
for one e-copy. So, I just purchased an upcoming book that is coming out, and it's not coming out for a couple of weeks. It's got 80 holds on it. I've the only copy in the system so far. So to meet that demand, we have to buy a lot of copies at that $60 price.
And that's just...
And that will expire.
And that is just the e-reader version.
That's just one copy of an e-reader version that can go out to one patron at a time.
And what about, let's say, and you know me, I'm a hybrid person.
Yes.
The audiobook version.
Yeah, so the audiobooks, we do a little better on the audiobooks. Now we're looking at between $90 and $120 for one copy for one user.
You're kidding.
No. More often we can actually purchase that, which is the good thing, but not always. Sometimes those are rentals as well. And yeah.
Now, you mentioned the collaborative that is
Yes.
the consortium.
Yeah.
Now, if let's say our neighbors, decide to also purchase copies, does that help or no?
Yes. So, we're fortunate in the state to be, one, we're part of the Merrimack Valley Library Consortium, and we all share our resources. And the way that works, when you look at specifically Overdrive or the Libby app, if you're
Yes.
familiar with that one, the way that works is if the consortium purchase it, if MVLC purchases a copy of a book, all the MVLC library patrons have access to that.
Okay.
If I purchase for Tyngsborough Public Library a copy, Tyngsborough Public Library patrons get access first before it goes out.
Okay.
So that helps shorten those lines. So I run reports every week and look at what's the top book, what's the longest wait, and I will, because I only have so much money, target what I purchased to help fill those gaps. And that's why you'll see you're waiting in two lines, because one is for the MVLC copy and one is for our copy.
Huh.
And our copy is usually shorter.
Okay. Fascinating. What's the current book you're reading right now?
Oh, Dirt to Soil.
What's that about?
So it's about regenerative farming, actually, and how a lot of the processes we use in the U.S., where we are tilling our soil over and leaving ground fallow using chemical fertilizers, is not good for the soil and is not the most profitable way to do it. And there's better ways. And I'm just reading about how farmers are being successful in changing how they are regrowing their soil. I'm a nonfiction reader, so I get really fascinated in these sort of things.
Okay.
Science books.
I will have to add that to my list of books. I always am impressed by when I email somebody you or anybody else at the bottom of the signature the current book that they're reading, and it's always fascinating to see.
Yeah, we all have different reading
yeah.
interests at the library. Yeah.
Any book clubs that are forming that meet at the library? Or?
Oh yeah, great question. So we have several book clubs. So we have our normal fiction. I think we have a romance one. We have a children's one. We also have a cookbook club. So if you
Yes.
like to cook, highly recommend the cookbook club. They do a different cookbook each month. You pick a recipe and then you come in and everybody shares what they made and whether they liked the cookbook. So if you like to eat, like to cook, highly recommend that.
Okay, and they meet on Wednesdays.
Yes, it's a Wednesday
Evening.
It's a Wednesday evening. We usually meet at probably about 6:30, but I don't remember which Wednesday of the month. It may rotate.
Okay,
Yeah.
understood. Another question that just kind of popped in my head. You guys are open some days late, and then there are some days, let's say on a Friday, or you're open on Saturday. Why is that? You guys are not open on, let's say, on a Friday.
Sure, absolutely. I think the first thing is budget constraint. I'd be more than happy to be open more hours, but we're open as many hours as our budget allows and our staffing allows. So we try to provide hours that are both weekdays, evenings, and on the weekend. We're not open on Sundays because of the overtime rule. That makes it a little more expensive. Most mass libraries aren't. We're closed on Fridays. Again, it's just we are open 40 hours a week, and we're just trying to spread that out. So we provide both evening and weekend hours.
I figured
if that makes sense.
It makes sense to me. I know a resident would have asked that question, so it just
Yeah. So I'm more than happy to look at different hours, but it is a funding challenge.
Understood. What's one thing that you wish people knew or understood about public libraries in 2025?
Oh, it's hard to pick just one. I would say just following up on the hours, we're open every Saturday throughout the year. I know historically we were closed in the summertime on Saturdays.
Yes.
That's no longer true. We're open Saturdays year round. So just wanted to drive that point home, to get the word out on that. But I think the one thing I wish people would know that they don't already is what an amazing return on investment their public library is. For every dollar we receive of municipal funds, we provide $3 worth of services. We're saving residents hundreds of thousands of dollars a year when they use the library instead of buying a book, instead of buying an audiobook, instead of buying an electrical toolkit to repair something. And I think just the value and the return on investment we provide, I don't think is something people are aware of.
What's the best thing that you enjoy the most in your job as director and just overall the Tyngsborough Public Library?
The people. I mean, I have worked in libraries a long time, and I can say it's not usual to have such an amazing, dedicated, caring staff, trustees, friends group, working with town hall, people who help us. I'm really fortunate. The people and the community as well is so supportive. I just enjoy going to work every day, and I know most people can't say that, so I feel very lucky.
How can residents get more involved, whether it's through volunteering or joining the friends group or, spreading the words, or how can they learn more about what your mission?
Absolutely. So I'd recommend you're welcome to go to our website, tinglib.org. come into the library. I have an open door. Come on in, say hi, tell me what you think, ask questions. I love talking with people. That's how I learn about the community needs, what we're doing well, what we can do better, what we're missing. Volunteering. We have a strong adult and teen volunteer program. The Friends group is amazing. They meet the first Monday night at 6:30 of every month. Stop in and see what they're doing. They do so many fun things. Like this year, they've done the Tiny Art Show, which they provided about 100 little easels for people to take home, do their art, bring it back in. That was
Nice.
phenomenal at no cost. It wasn't a fundraiser or anything. They also did the Puzzle Night Challenge this year, which was so much fun. So they're also just looking to help us build community. So lots of ways to get involved.
Kathryn Growney, Director of the Tyngsborough Public Library, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
And that will do it for this episode of Entering Tyngsborough. You can learn more about your town's government by visiting the town's website at tyngsboroughma.gov. For the town of Tyngsborough, I'm Roni Camille, wishing you the best of goodbyes.